everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of the Fundamentalists, which is already off to a very smooth start with that beautiful intro. My name is Elliott Morgan. I'm here with Peter Rollins. We have a very fun episode for you today, all about gifts, gift giving, and we thought what better way to introduce it than by sharing what we have just done, which is a gift opening ceremony.
Yep.
Well,
it was beautiful. Yeah.
Yes,
So I want to show off what you got me.
Yes.
Because honestly, I'm not joking. like Elliott said, it was last week. I think it was last week. You said, "Oh, I've got a present that's really you."
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of thing in the back of my mind, which is, well, I'm a hard guy to buy.
No one knows me.
No one knows me. I don't know me. My level of depression is so severe, I can't get excited about anything.
Yeah, good
so
luck.
I was like, I'm going to have to pretend, whatever he got me, I'm going to have to pretend that it was good.
Yes.
Right? You know, like, because you have to do that, and it will be nice. I'm sure it'll be nice. But you had this smile of, like a glint in your eye, like, no, I've got you the right present.
Christmas cheer.
Yeah. And holy shit,
I mean,
did you land the fucking plane?
Hey, man.
So he got me this. If you're watching the video, it's called Business Secrets of the Pharaohs by a writer called Mark Crorigan. And the subtitle is Powerful Insights into the Business Secrets of the Pharaohs. So,
Perfect.
it's perfect.
And I hope you explain no more. And he was like, that's it. Anyway.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if I want to explain anymore. People will have to maybe do their research of why this is like unbelievably good. And the contents, if you can see the video, is all in capitals. It bleeds into the crease.
Yeah, the binding, yeah.
Binding, and this is so perfect for me.
Yes. It is a mock prop from Peep Show.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are not familiar with Peep Show, it is arguably the funniest show ever. And there is one particular couple episodes, a story arc about Mark getting a quote-unquote publishing deal from, and I think it has the logo of the thing I was right, London British Publishing.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, it does. British London,
yeah. And he slowly realizes that he's getting scammed, and his best friend Jeremy, who's usually the idiot, calls it, and I found this and was like, this is perfect. So
yeah, and it's a lovingly created fan fiction because like someone has put in all of this text, and obviously they probably cut and paste it from something, but
yeah, and it repeats, and it takes a lot of work to make something that bad.
Yeah,
and it is a bad. It's just a. And Pete's got all these books and all these smart pants stuff. So I was like, well, he needs a book that is nonsense.
This is going to go up as part of the props in the back.
Perfect.
Right? So that'll become a prop.
Great.
Yeah.
And then Pete knows me very much as well. And he got me a Macallan Highland single malt Scotch whiskey, and I'm enjoying that. So thank you very much, Pete. And Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Well, now I wish I put more thought into it.
No, you did just fine for me.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I want is thought put into it. Just a nice bottle of scotch is perfect. Boy, gift giving is fun, huh?
Yeah.
That
was fantastic. That lifted my spirits. Honestly, I was a bit fatigued, a bit tired today, and that's just absolutely.
I hope you curl up in bed tonight and and the typo because his name's Corrigan and they call it Mark Corrigan. I mean it's. And everything is just off kill. It's wonderful.
And chapter 5, make UK law into your omnibus.
So
which is mentioned in the episode.
It's beautiful. It's and now I think it's a pretty good. We had a pretty good haul. I think I'm good for Christmas now.
Yeah, I'm great for Christmas. 'Cause I don't do much for Christmas. Don't do much of the gift thing. So this is that was a nice little Christmas treat.
Well, good man. Yeah, I haven't had much of a Christmas spirit this year, and I think it's mostly because of my, as you call it, fatigue. General tiredness, which I think everybody's kind of going through a little bit. I'm excited for the year to end.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that means I'm excited for the new one to start. I think I might be excited for the next one to end as soon as it starts too.
Yeah. I got a feeling 2022 might. I don't want to say. I think it might be worse in 2021 for a few reasons. Yeah, I think it might be. I think the economic situation is going to continue to decline.
Yeah. 'Tis the season.
So there you go. Merry Christmas, one and all.
Can I tell you how my day began, Pete? Before we dive into
the
philosophical underpinnings of gift giving, I woke up and Grace was like, "Do you want to go to Target do a morning Target run. And I was like, okay, sure, that sounds nice. We'll go to Target. We'll be like little suburbanites. So show up to Target, walking in, and there is a woman outside of the entrance. And at first I'm like, okay, she's having people sign a petition for a cause. And then I'm like, oh, she's not doing that. And I was like, okay, she's asking for money. And this is all happening, thoughts are flying into my brain. And maybe she's, destitute or something. And maybe it's, selling something. And basically, as we're entering, she kneels down on one knee and starts pointing her hands together straight forward. And as we're passing, she goes, I love you both equally, and who will receive the love that there is to give all around us. And we went into Target, and I was like, that was a different one. You're not used to that. It's always fun surprises here.
And she was saying this to you two?
Mm-hmm. It seemed that way, but she wasn't really looking, but it was kind of like we're the only people at that moment passing her. Then we finish Target, and we're heading out, and I can see her still out there from inside the thing, and what catches my eye is her butt cheek and all of her legs. And this is, a young woman, a young, fit woman. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I think that woman is taking off all of her clothes. And as we were exiting, sure enough, this woman was underwearless completely, and then slowly took off. And keep in mind, it's like 50 something degrees, completely naked. Yeah. And I did what I do best, and I avoided eye contact and didn't do anything and didn't say anything and got in the car and left.
Oh, wow. So psychotic break is happening?
Seemed like it.
Because this happened to a friend of mine.
It was a little sad.
Yeah, a friend of mine who set up actually a very big charity and became very well known for a while, had a break, stripped naked, ran through the streets.
Coney?
What's that? Tony?
Is your friend Coney 2012?
Oh, yeah. Did you know that? Yeah.
That's your friend?
Well, no, you haven't seen him for a good few years, but yeah, I know him.
You know the Coney 2012 guy?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So that's funny. Oh, yeah. I was keeping it very kind of...
Oops, sorry.
No information.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. He had a really popular charity that ran around naked and had a psychotic break.
That doesn't happen to many people.
That gives it a little bit of a clue. Yeah, that's I won't dive into that because it's probably not good for the podcast, but very interesting. That's very fun.
That's a very interesting. That whole story was very interesting.
Yeah, that was another one because that was a phenomenon.
Yes.
Coney 2012 was a phenomenon that swept the nation.
Yeah.
I wrote 2 papers today, so I'm a little out of it.
Yeah.
I apologize. I also just drank this thing called psychedelic water. So that might be part of it.
LSD?
No, it's got no kind of narcotic in it, but it's got caffeine in it, and it supposedly boosts your mood and your senses. But as I was coming up the elevator, I was getting off the elevator, I was like, man, elevators are weird. And I was like, huh, I wonder if that stuff's hitting me a little bit. And then I was opening a box today, and with the scissors, and my hand slipped and hit the scissors, and I just sliced open my fingers. It's been a day.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had the same thought, by the way, in elevators. I've had a thought when I see dogs in elevators, like, an elevator must be weird for a dog.
So crazy.
Because you walk in, and the door's open.
The whole world changes around them.
Yeah.
But they're cool with it.
They're totally cool with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with gift giving, Pete?
Gift giving, yeah. So I was thinking maybe I'll do my usual thing, chat a wee bit about gift from a philosophical angle, see where it goes. So I was thinking like probably the most famous piece of writing on gift giving was by a guy called Marcel Mauss.
I think you'll find it was Santa Claus, but okay.
Yes. Yep. And this was in 1925, and he was a sociologist and very influential in anthropology, but this essay that he wrote basically argued in a nutshell that society requires gift giving to survive. Like society's gift giving is not just some frivolous activity. It is absolutely central to civilization, and if we lose the ability to give gifts, then we will lose civilization itself. And part of the argument is, and a gift is a non-reciprocal or asymmetrical act. So in a economy, it's symmetrical. I sell you something, I get something in return. So it's symmetrical. You get something, I get something, and if exchange works, we're both happy.
Yeah.
But in a gift, there's no economy. You give something with kind of technically no expectation of return. It's totally asymmetrical. There's a loss, there's a sacrifice in gift giving, and an asymmetrical dimension to it. And the kind of weird thing is the idea that for society to function, just like the universe could only exist because of an asymmetry, civilization can only exist because of asymmetry. Even if I buy you a drink and then a week later you buy me a drink, the week later is important. Or, you know, maybe I buy you a couple of rounds a few times and then you do it a few times, and we don't quite know when we're buying each other drinks, but it just kind of comes out in the wash over time. This idea of this asymmetrical kind of like movement is what allows people to not kind of kill each other, and gift giving creates sacrifice, and sacrifice creates meaning. So even like things like Christmas, where it's gift giving and it's more of an exchange because everyone expects to get gifts in return.
Right.
There's still this dimension of it that signals something beyond economy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's central.
I like it as I like to think of it as same with New Year's resolutions. There's the sacrifice is part of it, and it's a nice ritual that very few of those do we still have. And so when you give a gift, it's like it feels like a sacrifice. Like you're going like, I'm charitably giving you something, and then it's a very human, very enlivening, soul enriching thing. It's very nice. It's very pleasant.
And some people, like, I get people saying to me quite often, sometimes is like, what do you do if you're going home for Christmas or Thanksgiving or any of that, and you're with family members who you disagree with politically or culturally, and the culture wars and all that shit? What should you do? You know, not even asking me, just asking that question. But maybe one of the answers to it is gift giving. So if you're able to give, say, the gift of listening, which means non-reciprocal. You're not giving them the gift of listening so they'll listen to you, because that would be an exchange. You're not doing it because they deserve it, because that would be an exchange. You're giving a gift of listening can create and recreate and help a friendship, or just a gift of buying them a drink, or offering forgiveness, or whatever it is like offering a gift can fix broken relationships, even relationships that look like they're absolutely terrible. Like, you completely politically disagree with your family, but then you just give the gift of listening, and you suddenly find that you know, the relationship can be reestablished.
I know you're not a fan of the love languages, which is a scientifically and ontologically the most scientific. At least from a phenomenological hermeneutical average. Big words, but the love language of gift giving.
Oh, right, that's one of them. Yeah. I've heard that, because that's my friend Jay says that's his. He likes giving gifts and receiving them.
Yeah. You tend to supposedly speak and hear in the same love language, if I'm understanding that correctly or remembering it correctly. But you can tell, like, some people are very good at giving gifts. Like, this is not the business secrets of the Pharaohs is not an indicative
of your gift giving
of my
abilities,
gift giving. Yes,
because if that is indicative, you've got this
right
nailed.
I know you think, and I got a kind of a cool present from my bro, and beyond that, I get my brain goes into just traffic jam territory, because I'm like, I don't know. And the people who can give thoughtful gifts that make the recipient feel seen, it's like this. I know you can hone it if you try to do it a lot and you give it thought, but man, it is such a nice, beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's a communication. It is a nice way of going, hey, here you go.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a good gift, so this is a good example. Like, when you give that, it's like, oh my goodness, like, I'm into that show. That's a very in joke. That's a very kind of like, it's.
You like books?
What's that? Yeah, exactly. It's very thoughtful, so you kind of feel seen, I guess, there's in some way, with a good gift.
And it's just and I mean, you know, I'm very into scotch.
I know, but that was such a thoughtless gift. And actually, to be completely honest, I did it because last week you said, "Oh, I've got you a great present."
I know.
Oh, fuck, I better get.
I know. That's why I said it. I was like,
Yeah.
that way I didn't want you to feel bad.
Yeah,
You know,
that
that I
was
had
good.
gotten you this incredible. I also put it in a MacBook Pro box when Pete unwrapped it, which
Yeah.
added, just layers on layers of humor and Yuletide joy over here.
Because I was very pleased when I got you all this beats up when I got you the Peep Show floor map of the apartment. I thought that was a clever gift.
Yep,
Yeah.
still hanging in my office.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
gift giving. What else we got on it? This is a more chill episode, guys. I'm sorry if we're not diving into anything incredibly deep, but who has time for that? You need to go spend time with your family, or if you're not with family, you need to go spend time reading Business Secrets of the Pharaohs.
Yes. Well, we'll say this. This is good, right? This is Derrida's work on the gift. Because if gift giving is non-reciprocal, it's you give something without return, then the question is, well, does the gift exist? Does any gift exist? Because
What do you mean, does the gift exist?
because there's always some sort of return, right? Like for example, if you bought me that and I just threw it to the side, you might feel hurt because even though there's an expectation of thanks or my enjoyment or like there's something you're expecting in return.
Yes.
At Christmas, if I didn't buy gifts and everybody else bought gifts, there'd be a little bit of a weirdness.
Yeah.
Right? If every time we went out, I didn't buy drinks like you do,
Sometimes I buy them, but then a lot of times I don't because I know I want you to have the joy of gifting me.
Yes, that's a very kind thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I get very confused and round buying in America. I've told you this before, but it's very different from Ireland, and so I get very confused.
Yeah, you guys do rounds, right?
So we do rounds in Ireland because, right, you don't give your credit card or your bank card to the barkeep. You basically go up and you buy a round. So maybe you won't buy any drink one week, and then the next week you'll buy everybody a drink. But it all comes out. But here in America, that's really confusing for people. Because everyone's got their card behind the bar, and so whenever we go, oh, I'll buy a round, and everyone's like, well, do I have to buy a round next? And it gets there. So I've messed up and got everybody really confused by my kind of, I've got the next round.
And they're drinking, so they're just like, what are you doing?
What's going on? I don't understand it, because that's a gift ritual in Ireland.
It's nice.
Yeah, but so Derrida kind of says, well, in a way, there's always a return. So there's always an exchange. So what does a perfect gift look like? And so he kind of does this thought experiment, and he says, well, imagine I buy you a gift. Will I get your thanks back? So I'm getting something back. So, okay, what about if I buy you an anonymous gift? So you don't know it's from me. I just leave something at your door because I know you don't have much money. I leave groceries at the door, but you don't know it's me. So I can't feel like you think I'm a great person or whatever. But I can still get all this enjoyment from seeing that it made your life better. I'm getting some sort of return. So we could imagine a gift where you don't know who gave it, and where you don't even know you've received something. You don't even know you received it. So like a gift of forgiveness, where I give you a gift of forgiveness, you don't even know you've received it because I've just forgiven you quietly. And so then there's no economy of me getting your thanks or seeing you happy, but I can still think that I'm brilliant. I've given the gift of forgiveness, I'm brilliant. So there's still some return. So Derrida says, can you imagine a gift where the person doesn't know they've received it, nothing is given, and you don't know you've given it? Because then there's no economy, right?
Say that again.
So a gift where you don't know you've received it, nothing has been given, and I don't know I've given it.
This sounds like a riddle I have to solve to get a ring or something.
Yeah.
What are the criteria again?
So the criteria is you don't know you've received a gift,
Okay.
nothing has been given, and I don't know I've given it. That would be the perfect gift because there'd be no economy.
I can see why you're not getting invited to a lot of holiday. But no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand, because so no economy, you're really reducing the gift to just the economy. Like the size of the economy is inversely proportional to the quality of the gift.
Kind of. And then, so basically, almost like the more I get back from a gift,
The
the
less
less
it's a
of a
gift.
gift is a gift, right?
Then it's
So,
more in exchange.
Yeah. So on the spectrum, like you go, right, it's definitely not a gift when I buy something off you on Etsy or whatever. Like that's an exchange at one extreme. But then this other extreme is this bizarre, weird, fictional, non-existent thing. But then Derrida says basically that it kind of does exist,
Yeah.
but always behind your back. So whenever, John Caputo uses the example of a teacher who stays behind to help a pupil, but like no one's thinking about it. Like the teacher just does it. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. It's just something that happens, and the kid's not thinking about it. The teacher's not thinking about it. It just happens. That's a gift.
Nice.
But it's precisely a gift because nobody knows it's a gift. It's a gift when you don't realize it's a gift.
Yeah, this reminds me of that quote you've mentioned before, or maybe it's one of yours, but it's like, love is giving something you don't have to someone who doesn't want it in exchange for something they don't have, or something like that.
It's Lacan, yeah.
Is that Lacan?
Yeah. Yes, it's all connected. You're absolutely right. It's like, and you know this about me now, that most of these topics come back to some sort of lack or an asymmetry.
Yeah.
And so gift giving is exactly the same. Gift giving is a lack. It's a lack in a few different ways. So there's the lack in the sense of you have to sacrifice something when you give a gift. So there's something missing. It's asymmetrical. It's not symmetrical. So otherwise it's an exchange. But also Derrida says the pure gift is a pure lack. It's almost like it's a pure nothingness that's something. It's nothingness that's impossible, but that animates every gift.
So the term gift exchange is an oxymoron.
Kinda, yes. Although it's used in anthropology and stuff, but to talk about, I suppose gift exchange means an asymmetrical exchange, so it means that we're not keeping count. So an economic exchange is you're keeping count. You've got books. A gift exchange is kind of like, you're not keeping count. Like, I'm not looking at how many times my friends buy a round to me, or how many times I bring a bottle of wine to somebody else. But if it becomes very asymmetrical, then disaster happens. Civilization breaks down.
Maybe this is why I don't like that white elephant game. You know that game?
No.
It's like everyone brings a present. And I'll butcher it, and there's different ways of playing it, but you're in a holiday party and everyone brings something. One person opens something, and then the next person opens something. But if that person likes the other person's more, they can take that and exchange it and give them. And then it goes all the way around to the very last person, or the first person can basically choose among all of them, I guess, because they never really had a choice. And it just is like, it's always, ever since I played it as a kid, I've always been like, this is stupid and boring. Like, let's just give each other gifts. Like, here's your gift. Like, if you like it, great. And if you don't, you don't. But then it becomes this, like, contest of, like, someone's going to get the iPod or whatever. And then someone else is going to get stuck with the potpourri. And it's just like not my favorite. No. Not my favorite version of gift giving.
And that's the thing about gift giving. It's like the thing about gift giving is, from a logical perspective, a lot of the time it's ridiculous because, one, as I generally know what I want more than you know what I want, with this exception today. So I know, and there's the old joke, but I don't know who made the joke. I did see a comedian say it, but basically they said, like, a voucher is like the shittest present because money is a voucher that can be used in any shop. Yeah. So when you buy someone a voucher, you're literally giving them something that limits them to one shop.
You're giving them an errand, basically.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But the reason why it works is because the gift of the gift is not what's given, it's the act itself, it's the form.
Yeah.
The form of gift giving that's the meaningful bit. So weirdly, even though you give a voucher to someone, which is like, as I say, instead of giving you $30, I give you a voucher for $30. That's limits you. That's like objectively, rationally, $30 is a better present than a voucher for $30 to a restaurant or something.
$30 is like, that's an insane gift to give somebody. Yeah. It's actually really funny. This will start giving people just $20.
Yeah.
But even then, I'd probably still wrap it, so it'd still become.
We see, this is where I'm bad because I'm going home in a few days, and I've got nieces and nephews, and I'll probably just give them money.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like very unthoughtful.
It's very uncle.
Yes, is that an uncle thing to do? But kids, the gift exchange is more primitive, so they'll be hopefully happy enough. But if I took my time, I could have think of something much nicer to get them.
The best, I think it was my dad's birthday or something, and I was like, oh crap, I forgot to get something. I gotta get something. So I think it was an emailed gift card, or as you would say, voucher, to Amazon on Amazon or something like that. Like, which I think is just the funniest. Like, just shows up in your inbox.
Oh yeah.
And you punch in the code, and it's like the most. I mean, you want to talk about no gift?
Yes,
that is
yeah,
no
that
gift.
Is it. Yeah, because
like,
Amazon basically is a shop that sells everything. So a voucher to Amazon is also
just money.
A voucher for it's just money.
Yeah,
it's just a slightly weirder version of money.
Yeah, and it's not ever enough to make a big difference on anything. And then you're like, okay, I guess I'll buy something on that.
Yeah, but my brother does this every year. My brother gets me an Amazon voucher for Amazon.uk.
Well, is that a different website?
So, it's completely different for all my shopping needs in the United Kingdom. But it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah, and I but it's the gift. But it's not even the thought that counts because it's the shittest thought.
Yeah.
But me and my brother are very similar in this way. Like I do the same thing. So he just buys me the Amazon.uk voucher, and I'm like, okay, that's a voucher that I'll never get to use. Although then what I do is then I use it sometimes to buy a present for someone in the UK. So I do get to use it eventually.
So it is Amazon.
So it is Amazon.
You can't.
But yeah, you can't bring it across to the .com.
That's very funny. Yeah, one time I think my brother and I would buy each other presents. We don't do it so much anymore, but there was a phase we went through where we were buying each other presents that were specifically for like 8-year-old boys. But like it would be like, I think he got me a crystal growing set, like a little science experiment type of stuff. But it was actually really fun because you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I would never in a million years buy myself an actual toy.
Yeah.
But then when I have it, I'm like, yeah, I'll grow some crystals.
Well, that's funny you did that because I did that once with my brother.
Really?
But we're not that close. Like, I love my brother. We get on very well, but we're not like, hanging out all the time. And for some reason, I just was like, I don't know what to buy. I'm just going to buy like kind of kid's toy or whatever. But it was very weird.
Yeah.
I think I misplaced. I was 25 years.
That was a misfire.
It was a misfire.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, because if gift giving is kind of like about lack, I mentioned there's the lack because of sacrifice. I mentioned the lack because of asymmetry. And then I mentioned the lack in terms of a pure gift that maybe animates all gifts. It's like this impossibility that you never see. And then there's just one more that Zizek talks about, which is the gift that is refused, but that's needed in order to be refused. So if I piss you off, and then I say to you, listen, I'm really sorry for what I did. And then you say to me, oh, it's fine. You don't need to apologize. It's totally fine. You're rejecting my gift, right? So I'm apologizing and you're saying you don't need to apologize. So, but if then I said, okay, I take the apology back, I didn't mean it, it wouldn't be right. Like the gift has to be offered and then it's refused. And in the refusal, our relationship is reestablished. So it's a weird another type of lack that's required.
Yeah, I had a weird interaction, and I would almost call it an altercation, but it was more like a just surreal. Like I was very tired, and I'd gotten tired that day, and I was leaving a parking lot, and I was walking behind this Prius, and I was like, I saw the guy get in the Prius, and I was right on the other side of the car, and I was like, okay. I didn't hear the car turn on. It was a Prius.
Prius, yeah.
And I was like, okay, it's fine. I walked behind it, and then he backed into me, and then kind of kept going a little bit, and I had to like tap and hit the car a little bit and be like, hey. And then I went around, and he's blaring music, and he turned.
Not a very Prius thing to do to play.
I know,
music.
it's kind of a shock. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And he seemed like a normal guy, and I was standing in line behind him and at checkout, and I was, you like look at what people buy in front of you. Do you do that?
Oh, yeah, I don't go to shops very often, but yeah,
I'll look at what people are buying and I'll just be like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
interesting. And so I was like, I leaned my head down and just kind of looked at him, and he was like, well, that's why you don't walk behind. That's why you don't walk behind cars. And I was like, hey man, it's cool. I was like, no problem. We don't have a problem. It's all good. And he goes, okay, all right. He goes, just it's like how am I supposed to know if you're back there? And I go, hey dude, it's fine, it's all good. Have a good one. And he goes, all right. And I go, apology accepted. And that was when it went a little.
You said that?
I said that.
Oh, you were doing so well up
I was
until
doing
that.
so well,
Oh.
and I just got a little right at the end. And then he goes, well, yeah, you could be under the car. And then I said, good one. And then we both kind of just laughed. And I was like, all right, man. And he goes, all right. And that was it.
Yeah.
It was a very strange interaction where I was like, he got me on a wrong day, but it was a very fun.
That's
I was
funny.
like,
Apology accepted. It's a good line.
I was like, oh, shit. I was like, I have that little, I have a little bit of a asshole tongue that could come out every now and then.
Yeah.
And I try not, and that's my way of. I refused his gift that he did not give.
Yes.
He did not like that.
That does have the logic, but of like, so one of the very normal ideas is that whenever someone repents, you give them forgiveness. So if someone does something wrong, they say sorry, and then you say that's okay, right? And then you offer forgiveness. But one of the religious innovations of probably the only religious innovation of kind of the Gospels was this idea that you give forgiveness before repentance. And it's actually repentance, the gift of forgiveness that leads someone to feel bad. So in other words, someone says like, I don't feel like I do something wrong, and I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. That's fine, whatever. And then a person says, it's okay. And then I go, yeah, sorry, I was a bit of a dick, right? It's not that the forgiveness comes after the repentance. The repentance comes after the forgiveness. So that you'd see that model as well sometimes. So that's a gift of you're forgiving, you're giving before. So you're giving before you should. So you're forgiving.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, and that evokes transformation. Yeah.
You elicit it.
Mm.
You put a little thing in the mix.
Yeah.
It makes it go, no, I'm sorry.
You could say like religion at its. Now, I don't necessarily go with this a lot. But someone like Jean-Luc Marion, and I think this is a nice way of thinking about religion, like at its purest, forget about belief in God or gods or anything like that, that the highest religious feeling is a feeling that the universe is gratuitous, a gift. That doesn't mean there's a giver, it doesn't mean there's a God right now. It's just that it doesn't need to have been. Mm-hmm. This whole thing, we can imagine a possible world where there is no world. So everything that is given, this whole experience of life.
Design.
Oh yeah, being here, yeah.
Being in the world.
Have you been doing
I've been reading a little bit of Heidegger.
Oh, Heidegger used to be my guy.
Yeah,
very good.
I really like him.
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
He's it's really interesting. It took me it's in for class, and it's that got me on like watching a bunch of Heidegger videos, and then this particular book is going through it, and the idea of what is being, and his flip on Descartes, who did I think therefore I am, and then Heidegger being like, no, you were before you were thinking. Being precedes thinking. I was like, oh, that's nice, that's good stuff.
Yeah, Heidegger is exactly what you're saying. Is what he means by that is one of the things is like whenever you drive a car, you drove here, like you're not thinking about it. Like you almost get in and it happens.
Yeah.
Like so much of our lives is pre-thought. Like so much of our lives, in fact, we only start thinking about something if it stops working. So
the hammer breaks.
Yeah, exactly. Present at hand, ready to hand. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So Heidegger, doing phenomenology, it basically discovers this whole world of pre-thought, where we are.
Just are.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's very good. And this is very connected to that, because the Heideggerian kind of like, especially later Heidegger, he gets very almost mystical, but there's this real sense of the givenness of being itself. Like, instead of getting caught up in every individual thing, just this experience. Like Terence Malick is a Heideggerian, and so if you watch Tree of Life, it's a bit sickly for me, but it's very kind of like gives you this cosmic feeling of being. And
it just makes you a little sickly for myself, but there is a cosmic, incredible beauty. But
it's too much. I'm not I'm not a Malick fan. But, but
who's Terrence Malick? What did he do?
He did Tree of Life, and he's done loads of other things. So that's the one that I can think of at the moment.
Yeah.
What else has he done? You'd know a lot of his work.
I know the name, but I can't place him.
But the idea that we cultivate a thankfulness for a type of kind of non-reciprocal gratuitousness of reality that we get to participate in, and that's kind of like a religious feeling, a feeling of the gift, and to live in the gift and to try to sensitize yourself to the gift is
And are you still talking about Heidegger here, or you're back to the
but back to more Jean-Luc Marion, but Heidegger, that's very kind of Heideggerian as well,
because I know my understanding is his thing was also you kind of recognize the gift of existence, and the way of doing that is coming to terms with death, which you got real into, and so when you start living as though you're going to die, it makes you actually live life.
Yes, which is another lack. That's again like all of this coming like how lack it kind of involves. So for Heidegger, we're being unto death, like and if we deny that nothingness that we are hurtling towards, we won't be able to truly live.
Yeah.
Just like the gift giving is a type of lack and sacrifice, and if we lived in pure economy, then we would lose the very nature of what it is to be human.
Yeah, lose that little.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about it is like, whenever someone says, "Well, why should I give a gift?" You never should, because then it would be economy. So if I say, "Why should I be gracious about this family member who I disagree with fundamentally, and I think they've got terrible views, for example, why should I give the gift of listening? Why should I give the gift of forgiveness?" There's no should to gift. Like, there is no should to gift. The only thing is if we as a society lose gift giving, if we don't know how to give the gift of forgiveness, of love, of hospitality, then we will be like maybe a lot of other life forms in the universe at various times. We will go extinct.
And that is in Chapter 9 of Business Secrets of the Pharaohs by Mark Kroeger. Well, this has been a lovely episode. Do you have any takeaways or final thoughts, Pete? I personally have tapped my brain out.
Okay, yeah.
But this is nice. I've enjoyed this conversation.
It's been lovely.
Yeah.
I would love that. So, let's leave it there.
Okay, let's leave it there, folks.
Drink.
Folks, if you have any questions, any comments, concerns, any suggestions for episodes, you can go to patreon.com/thefundamentalists. You can also leave a comment down below.
If you have any complaints, you can email us.
Yes,
and we will get
privately.
back to you within 24 hours.
Yep, no need to just air all of our dirty laundry out for everybody, okay? No problem whatsoever with just reaching out personally. If you have any questions.
If you want to give any financial gifts, we will accept.
Yes. Your sacrifice is make you better. Man, I just can't. I'm really. My brain is. I think it's the psychedelic water, man.
Yeah, man. I've never heard of psychedelic water, and
no one has.
Yeah,
they can't
call it psychedelic water if they don't put something in that.
See, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah,
because of the psychedelic water. It's hibiscus lime stuff. Anyway, everybody have a happy holiday, happy New Year, Merry Christmas. Enjoy your time, enjoy your families. We'll be back in the new year with more energy and more exciting topics to discuss and dive into here on The Fundamentalists.
Bye-bye.